Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Roxanne Jones. I'm the Vice President of Global Programs for Global Care Force, and we're happy to have you with us today. We'll give you a couple minutes to log in and get started if you haven't, but I'm going to go ahead and get started while you're doing that. We want to cover a couple housekeeping things before we start. We are recording this for future use, and we will provide you with the link to the recording. We will also provide time for Q&A a little later in the presentation. So if you could hold your questions until then, we would really appreciate it. And lastly, if you would put your microphone on mute, that would help to reduce any background noise. I want to start by telling you a little bit about Global Care Force, who we are, what we do. We've been around since 2022, and the purpose of Global Care Force is to transform lives through volunteering by connecting volunteers with organizations serving people in need worldwide. Our volunteers serve with respect to other cultures and faiths. Our goal is to continue to provide continuity of care through primary care teams to areas where healthcare remains unmet, access is unavailable, or extremely limited. Global Care Force is a 501c3 nonprofit. Currently, we serve in various parts of the world, such as Egypt, Jordan, Ukraine, Gallup, New Mexico, Pacifica, California, and Rosarito and Tijuana in Mexico as well. Today, we have Dr. Frank DiPelesi, who volunteered with Global Care Force back in June of this year on our inaugural team to Jordan. So thank you, Dr. DiPelesi, for joining me today. And I'm going to ask him a few questions. And then, as I said before, it'll be open for Q&A. So first off,
thank you, Roxanne.
You're welcome. First off, what made you decide to volunteer with Global Care Force?
Well, service is a huge part of my life. It's something that I've felt a need to provide for many, many years. I've worked for 35 years with people with HIV and the dying and the trauma that comes along with multiple losses and just dealing with life-threatening illnesses. I am retired, so I was looking for something to contribute to. And I heard about Global Care Force, and it sounded like the right fit for me.
Great. Did you hear from another volunteer, or did you just happen to find us online?
Oh, no, I did hear from a volunteer. I have a good friend who's volunteered multiple times in the past, I believe mostly in Ukraine. And her experience was life-changing for her. And the satisfaction that she seemed to get and the joy that she seemed to take in working within the small groups that we have was enough to make me just sort of jump at Global Care Force. I actually hadn't heard of it before that.
Wonderful. So we know you volunteered in June, this past June, in Jordan on the inaugural team. What made you want to go to Jordan?
Well, I'd heard stories about the refugees there, refugees from a number of countries around Jordan, Syria, Iraq, Palestinians, Sudanese people fleeing the turmoil, the craziness in Sudan. And again, I just felt like maybe there was something that I could do to alleviate something in their lives, some anxiety, some stress, some bit of, offer them some bit of peace.
So we are primarily primary care, but we also do trauma care along with that, and that is the role you filled, and you did it very well, I might say. I was also on this team and got to experience Dr. DiPelesi in action, and he was amazing. Frank, can you share a story about someone you met or something that happened that will stay with you the rest of your life?
Well, there are two things really, and kind of from two different perspectives. I looked at my team members and I saw the dedication there. I saw how hard they worked, and how sometimes the situations were a little overwhelming, but how people just kept moving forward, serving the people that were there, looking for help. Another thing that I think will stick with me for a very long time is the image of a Sudanese refugee mother coming into the clinic with a child, a toddler, maybe 2 years old, who was simply draped over her shoulder because they were so in need of food. I still am moved almost to tears by that sight.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, certainly some difficult situations. Give us an idea of what a typical day looked like for you with the team in Georgia.
Well, we did a lot of traveling. Almost every morning we were up very early in our van, and grabbing cups of coffee and a little bit of breakfast on our way to wherever the clinic was on that particular day. Um, uh, we would usually, it seemed like the clinics usually opened around 8:30 in the morning, and most of the days we worked right through till 5 or 6 in the evening. And we had lunch, of course, which was always a pleasant respite, but for the most part, we worked throughout the day.
Yes, that is correct. There were four veteran team members and then you.
Yes,
And so you met them, they all met for the first time, all of you did. Um, from the first meeting to saying goodbye, um, I would say that we created a bond. Would you agree with that?
I would absolutely agree with that. Yes, it was
Is
rich and loving.
we were a great team. I still reminisce. Is there anything you wish you knew before you deployed?
I wish I'd known to bring more short exercises that I could
Mm,
offer to some of the patients, and that I'd provided more of my own supplies, things like translations of the exercise instructions into Arabic, for example.
mhm. Um, as we both know, volunteering in these settings, we experience a lot of suffering. There's lots of highs and lows. Um, can you describe the most challenging or rewarding element of your volunteer experience? I know I've kind of said that before, but this is a little
Yes.
different. Mhm.
Um, Probably the most challenging aspect was the discovery that I actually didn't have a lot of time to work on specific trauma issues with the patients. The the number of people we were seeing and the pace that we were going at really made it practically impossible to open up trauma issues and then to try to contain them.
Mhm.
Um, Rewarding, the biggest rewarding aspect, I think, was uh, honestly understanding and feeling the gratitude that came from the patients. for as little as we were able to offer them, and we offered them a lot. Our doctors were fantastic. We had our pharmacy, but in a situation like that, that's still just a tiny, tiny drop in the ocean. But for that small amount we were able to offer, I got the gratitude from the people that we were serving.
Wonderful. Sometimes going back to our normal, quote, normal life can be challenging, and people don't understand that. I call it reverse culture shock. Even though you've only spent 2 weeks in another place, was that difficult for you? Has it changed your perspective on wanting to volunteer again? Your approach to life? How has that changed you, if it has?
I don't think it's actually changed me very much. I had an easy time going into the situation. I felt comfortable going into the situation, and I didn't have any residual regrets or trauma or personal trauma from my experience in
Good,
coming home.
good. Um, I often hear volunteers say they get back more than they give. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
And and why? I think you've alluded to a lot of it already.
Well, I think personally, I did feel as if I was able to offer some level of help. Um, but again, it was the gratitude that I received from the vast majority of the people we treated that was that continues to fill me up.
Yeah. Um, what advice would you give to someone who's contemplating volunteering with us?
Do it.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. Um, thank you for all your answers. That's wonderful. Um, we appreciate again that you volunteered with us, and we hope to see you again. Let's
I
say
hope
that.
so as well.
Yeah. And what I hear is you may be going next summer with the team that you went with to Jordan. You may be
Well,
deploying with them next July. So
well, we talked about that. We had such a good time together. We became so close
yeah,
that we want to spend more time together,
yeah,
even though we live in different parts of the country.
right.
And so we're all hoping to go to Ukraine
Good.
summer.
I am too. I'm keeping my fingers crossed it all works out.
Yay.
Um, does anyone who's online have a question for Dr. DiPelesi or myself? I'm not sure how many people are online right now, but if you have a question, okay, I'm just going to keep moving along here. So let's talk about how you can become a volunteer with Global Care Force. The process is simple. You need to complete an online application. And once you complete the online application, we will set up an interview with you. Um, and once we receive your application, you'll be set up for an interview where you'll be asked some questions. It's about 30 minutes long. We ask for references, one personal and one professional. And once we review an application and the references, we will let you know if you've been accepted as a volunteer with us or not. I would say 99.9% are accepted. It's very rare we don't accept somebody as long as they're understanding what we're providing, which is continuity of care and primary care. And so once we hear from you that you would like to go, we offer you dates that are available where we need your expertise. Then there is a deposit required that is part of your fundraising amount for that trip. And we follow up with you and work with you on all the details. When I say it's all inclusive, I mean it's all inclusive. Once you land in the country of service, You no longer have to worry about anything, not what you eat, where you stay, or transportation or anything. Every little detail is planned out very specifically. You will have your own translator, one-on-one translator for the entire trip, who's available to help you even at meals if you can't read the menu. So you're very well taken care of, and all of our teams on the ground, whether it's Ukraine, Jordan, Egypt, are wonderful, wonderful teammates. We have coordinators in each country who handle the details along with myself. And we just want to make it one of the most pleasant, life transforming experiences for you. And I believe we do that well. And I'm proud of the team here in the office as well, our volunteers and all those on the ground. We appreciate each and every one of you and would love to hear from you. Dr. DiPelesi, thank you again for joining us today. We
My
appreciate
pleasure.
your service and look forward to more opportunities to serve along with you.
I look forward to that too, Roxanne.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone, and have a great day.